if you're 11, you don't know what that is.
We're getting to know Ali. We're getting to know Ali a little bit more.
No, or it could be. You know what? Let's not talk about t-shirts.
Let's not talk about t-shirts. We don't need to do that.
Name something else. Oh, I have something to talk
Dreams from last night.
Oh, you have something?
I got one.
You really? Tell me about it.
I had a dream that I had a little lamb.
Really?
Yeah. And I had like come across it. It was like it was stranded.
It was lost
or something. And it was a little lamb.
Aww.
Its ears were all cut up. I think I was thinking of like Betty in the dream.
She is a little lamb.
Yeah. Betty's little lamb. But and then in the dream I was like, oh man, how I gotta keep this little lamb, but I live in New York. I can't own a dog. How can I own a lamb?
Yeah.
But when am I gonna get the chance to have a little lamb? Ever again. So I was like, I am keeping it, but I thought it was like insane at the same time. Yeah. I saw Katrina today really briefly and I was like, I had a dream about a little baby lamb. And she was like,
God.
don't you mean lamb? She's like, they are babies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like saying pita bread.
And that's what we talked about, and we haven't seen each other in like 2 weeks.
You were like bursting at the seams to talk about your little lamb.
Yeah. Listen to my dream.
Man, that's pretty good stuff.
It's a good story. Yeah.
I also have something that we need to talk about.
Oh.
Have you heard about the JD Vance couch fucking stuff?
No. What?
Okay.
This like his like it's like stories from college.
Well, so what happened? So everybody who's not in America,
fucked every piece of furniture.
Every piece of
in
furniture.
The, like,
yeah.
dorm or something. Who cares?
I know, but it's just so funny because the memes are so good about it. But like, so everybody who's not in America, JD Vance is Trump's pick for vice president. Mm-hmm. And
yeah.
And he wrote a book after the 2016 election called Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah, I just saw the movie.
Yeah.
Because my parents wanted to watch it.
Was it good?
Because they're trying to indirectly influence me. They don't talk to me directly anymore.
Yeah.
They do it by saying things to influence me. It was like, I thought it was going to be terrible. And I also looked at the scores on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a great movie. Like I wouldn't watch it again. But I definitely got pulled into it.
Totally.
You know? And like Amy Adams does a great job.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of good actors in it. Amy Adams, Glenn Close is in it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
so I was
crazy.
like, oh, maybe it's going to be good. And then it was like, it was easy to keep listening to. And
damn.
Yeah.
Well, for the book and the movie, the book is like a memoir of his life.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the movie, but I can only assume that because he like, basically after the 2016 election, all of these like white liberal elites were like, how could this happen?
Yeah.
And then like pushed minorities aside and were like, let's listen to the poor Republican whites. They must have something to say.
Yeah.
And then like he uses his story of growing up in Ohio and he acts like he's from Appalachia, but he's not. His like parents are from Appalachia, but he grew up in Ohio.
Yeah.
In like a kind of rich part of Ohio. And he acts like he knows poor people really well. And he uses his story of like overcoming poverty.
Oh, so it's really exaggerated?
I think it's over exaggerated, but he like uses his story of like overcoming poverty and stuff in order to be like, well, poor people are just lazy. They didn't try as hard as I did, and so they're super lazy.
Yeah.
So like when he was Trump's like vice president pick, somebody tweeted like, I can't believe that JD Vance wrote in Hillbilly Elegy about fucking a couch, which is not
just to
true.
Start people thinking about it. Yeah.
And so everybody now thinks that he's fucked couches, and people are like posting memes. Like I saw one, which is
and then
like,
he approved it to be in the book.
Yeah. He like, I saw a meme that was like, those like casting couch videos.
Yeah.
And they start with like the couch, and then a lady walks in. It was like JD Vance pauses at this part of the video to jerk off. It's just so funny. All the couch fucking stuff is so funny.
That's funny.
But welcome to Worthless Clowns.
Welcome to Worthless Clowns. Podcast about stupid. Oh, welcome to Workers Club.
There we go. She's doing it. She's doing it now.
You can tell now I've been practicing at home.
Yeah. In the mirror. Yeah.
It's a podcast about stupid we all are. I'm Brittany Cardwell, Bertonis Cardwell on Instagram. That's Ali O'Neill.
I'm Ali
gotcha.
O'Neill. What's up? I'm Ali O'Neill. Smash that subscribe button. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Ali O'Neill. Subscribe to our YouTube. Take your headphones out. Oh God. What else?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Well, we hung out all last night. So
I know, yeah. So we have very little to talk
We actually need a break
about.
from each other, but we got to do this.
Yeah, I guess we have to fucking hang out.
I had that dream. I think that was the big event.
It's funny. I had a dream last night. Where I don't remember any part of it, but I remember flashing my tits at Dave, and that's it.
Yeah? You do that a lot?
Yeah.
You flash your tits at me, so I'm like...
That's true. So imagine if you were dating me.
It's a pretty normal dream, actually.
Yeah. You're like, I dream about it too, against my will.
Yeah.
I have nightmares about you flashing your little tits at me, and then I'm like, those are my tits.
Yeah. Man, that lamb dream was so good.
Oh, it felt good?
So good. I haven't had a good baby animal dream in a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like that time, I told you about that.
I was so happy in the dream, but I was stressed.
You were stressed about having
I was like, I have to do this.
But like the joy of having the lamb was
I
great.
love little lambs. I met this one little lamb in New Zealand when I went to my boyfriend's parents' place, and they lived on this like farmy, well, it wasn't a farm. It was an old mental institution. So it was scary and terrifying. But it was very
And they kept animals in it?
It was very rural, right?
Yeah.
There weren't really that many animals, but there was a little baby lamb running around at one point. It was like the neighbors or something. Same people who I think had the tumor dog.
That's right.
Yeah. And oh man, I got to like pet it up close. It would like wander over. It seemed so new that it couldn't like walk that well. It was like jolty.
Yeah, it's like trying to figure out its legs.
Yeah.
How its legs work.
Yeah.
'Cause it's too dumb.
I have a picture of me putting a flower next to its face and it smelling its flower. It deflowered.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm too excited I can't even talk about
I know. This is going to be the rest of the pod.
Yeah. So also when I was a kid, my stuffed animal was a lamb.
Oh.
Called it Lammy.
Big.
Now Lucy has Lammy and they call it the same thing.
Wait, the same exact one that you had?
I was like, did you guys give her Lammy? Because you need to ask me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure I gave that to Benjamin. So you can't just give it to Lucy.
Well, if you give it to Benjamin, he'd kill it.
Yeah, he might.
He'd be like, this is a vermin.
I would like pick it up and be like, why is the stitching so loose around the neck now?
Yeah.
He's been like twisting
Putting it in the mole traps.
Yeah.
Wait, is it the same exact one that you had when you were a kid?
I didn't even see it, but they said it wasn't mine.
Oh, gotcha.
It'd be crazy if it was the same as mine because mine was from my aunt.
Oh,
so it's like a very old stuffed animal.
Yeah. And like, would your parents still have that?
We still have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything from my childhood.
Yeah. Well, I loved that lamb so much.
Oh, yeah.
I was like carrying it around all the time.
Yeah.
It was on my bed through middle school, probably.
Hell yeah, dude.
Definitely had it in my room in high school, but I think I didn't make it such a feature,
Yeah, totally.
In case boys I liked came over.
Yeah. All the kids
I was like,
came
no,
over.
look at the Star Wars poster.
Yeah.
Trevor.
You're like, hey,
I got it for you.
Check out all these Eminem lyrics that I wrote down.
Yeah,
Isn't
Eric
that so fucking
Williams.
cool? Eric Williams.
Ask me about other songs. I know other songs.
Yeah, but only as like top 5 on Spotify though.
Yeah.
It's also so funny for a middle school boy to be I guess like it makes sense, but like in my mind, it's just so funny for a middle school boy to be obsessed with Eminem because he talked about like killing his mom.
Yeah.
And that's like what little boys want to do. You know what I mean?
They kind of do. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. That's another thing. We were talking about incest yesterday.
Yeah.
Where
oh yeah, on the pod. I was
the
like,
pod.
when were we doing that?
just regular. That's what we talked about all last night when we hung out for 4 hours.
And the whole conversation is me being like, but what about this?
Yeah, you're like, do you think that this could possibly be called incest?
And every time you're like, yes, that's also okay. All right, what about
you're like,
this?
Fine. Okay, but what if? But I like read something that was like, you know how like teenagers get really shitty and like really start to like hate their parents?
Yeah.
That's to prevent incest in their sexual like in their sexual aging, because like
oh really?
it happens as they start to like sexually mature.
Yeah.
And so they hate their parents, so they don't
And
want to fuck
mostly
them.
their mom?
Yeah, usually
mostly the other
gender, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Huh.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah. So thank
Is
God for
incest
biology.
worse if it's and now it is going to be incest.
Okay.
Well, what about this? Is it worse? Not worse morally, but worse like genetically. If it's like with the parent compared to a sibling?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because I guess you have like 50% of each parent's genetics. And then your siblings also have 50%. So that's like all I know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
You're the doctor.
Do you have 50% with your siblings?
You share 50% with your siblings.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to. But it's like, I don't know. I got to look this up.
Yeah, I know. Now we're just like.
Now I'm going to be Googling incest. Great.
On my work laptop.
Yeah.
How bad is incest?
Yeah.
What's worse, your dad or your brother? Just like genetically.
If you had to choose. If you had to choose.
If you gun to your head, if you had to fuck your dad or your brother, which one would it be? Gun to your head, dad or your brother.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not answering that.
Come on.
No, it's too early in the pod episode.
Fun.
They might hear it. It's before everyone drops off.
Well, it's gun to your head.
Ask me at the end.
Okay.
Don't ask.
Come on, just tell me if you'd fuck your dad or your brother. Gun to your head.
This is like the thing where she makes me touch her ass
when it's really wet
to feel how sweaty it is.
Yeah.
And I say no, and then she says it 3 times, and I give up. I'm one of those people.
That's true. I did make you feel how hot my seat was yesterday.
Yeah.
After the pod.
Yeah. Now it's like, yeah, it's just spreading to other things.
Oh my God. If this was a business, if we had like a fucking, what is it, LP or whatever, I have no idea. You could like file for sexual harassment.
Yeah.
But
you're always doing it on the show, so it's entertainment, and it's like you could explain it away as that.
Yeah, I'll be like, Brittany's a great actor. She acts like she doesn't want to touch my hot butt seat, but she really does.
Yeah. What else is nothing else? Should we just get into our stories?
Yeah, let's get into our stories.
We talked too much last night.
I know. I
don't want to like pretend to be updating you guys.
Yeah. Also, nothing happens in my life.
Nothing happened last night. You know what else I wrote down?
What?
My neck hurts. I was like, I'm not reading that.
Oh, it hurts again?
Well, it always hurts. Not as bad though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but this side, I think I pulled it a little bit.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Gotta go back to my hot doctor.
Uh-oh.
Get my injections in my neck.
Yeah. He'll give you an injection.
Yeah. Wherever else he wants.
I'm sorry. Sorry, hot doctor. My pussy hurts. Is there anything you could do for that?
Yeah.
Maybe like a massage? You want to tell your stupid story?
Yeah.
I have a stupid story that I cannot believe. I literally remembered it last night, and I cannot believe I've never told it on this podcast before.
Hell yeah.
But I want you to go first.
Okay. All right. This one's about a date.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ew.
It was a pandemic date, which means I let anything happen and I dated anyone.
Of course.
Didn't matter what was going on.
Yeah.
I gave a lot of extra chances, you know?
Totally, because we were just all like so lonely.
I was mentally unwell, you know?
Yeah, all of us were like cooped up and like longing for any kind of human attention, no matter how bad that attention was.
Yeah. So we I don't know. Excuse me, I just burped so much. Jesus. You know, it only happens on the pod because I'm drinking so much bubbles.
Yeah. I will say when Brittany sat down, she opened her seltzer and she was like, Schweppes.
Because they're especially bubbly lately.
I know, I love that though.
Yeah, but like they're so crazy. You can't open it for like 5 minutes.
No,
sometimes.
Totally. Hal's is that same way.
Hal's has been...
Hal's is the one
Hal's has been worse, actually.
Yeah, Hal's is the one that exploded on me while we were doing somebody else's pod here.
Yeah.
We're doing...
That happened when Guster was here too.
That's right. Yeah, and you were like, we just do it to keep people on their toes?
Yeah, I told him that we do it to everybody. To make it feel like something fun happened right when the pod started.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of believed me.
Yeah. I know.
At first.
Well, it's because like you do this thing where like you say something like as like something happens and you like do the thing where you like act stupid about it as like a joke.
Yeah.
And then you just like keep riffing and it gets so specific that it seems real sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
You're like, oh yeah, we do that to everyone. We do it to keep people on their toes.
And
so it feels exciting. And then it like almost seems believable. You know what I mean? Like it gets like so specific.
Really well thought out.
Yeah, exactly. Like the other person's like, there's too much reasoning for this to be fake.
And her voice got very calm.
Yeah.
And like stable.
Anyway.
Anyway, so I'm on a date during the pandemic. Tinder guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do remember part of the texting beforehand. He texted a lot. Don't remember his name. I'm going to call him Adam, something like that.
Cool.
And he texted a lot. And I remember I just like moved into my apartment.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like figure out final stuff. Like I was hanging a hook in my bathroom.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you up to? And I was like, the truth is I'm hanging up this metal hook that I bought, you know? And he got real excited about it. And I remember being like, that could mean this is good or really bad.
Wait, what was he excited about?
He was like, oh, I love that kind of stuff. That's like he was like wishing he was hanging this metal hook.
Idea of hanging a hook.
Yeah. So then we're on a date. I'm not that attracted to him, but I stayed. We hung out for like 6 hours. And I remember the two things I remember about the date. This is a very long time ago, so I can't remember a lot.
Yeah.
The two things I do remember, though, is that we were sitting outside one of those little pandemic tents, right?
Pandemic tents?
You know, at a restaurant.
Oh, they had little shacks.
They had little shacks and tents and like covered like outdoor areas.
Yeah, I remember
like little pods.
Yeah, I remember fucking eating brunch in February outside in like a glass box.
Yeah,
it was like so crazy. And then it was like there was like one space heater to like heat the 4 tables that were all divided up. It was so
and I did
nuts.
it all the time.
Yeah, constantly.
It became like, so normal.
We're like, it's so fun to go out to eat. You know? Yeah.
So we're in one of those. It's not important that we are in those. It's just that was the time. And all I remember is that he was like, somehow we started talking about broccoli. How do I get into conversations like this?
Well, Brittany, I don't know. Let's go back to the lamb stuff. You're like,
first, number one
You're
update. I had a dream about a little lamb.
Yeah, I was like, so I had a dream about a lamb. And then I'm like, I had a dream, and you're like, the lamb was so cute. So I can only imagine, I wasn't there, but I can only imagine it was similar to that. You're like, they look like little trees.
So broccoli comes up somehow, and he's like, oh, did you know? And actually, this is interesting. And if Dwayne told me it, I'd be like, Dwayne's so smart.
Is this about fractals?
No.
Okay, never mind.
How do broccoli and fractals relate?
Well, trees. Because they like divide.
This, like,
you're like,
anything?
And I was like, yeah.
Oh, see, that's probably way more interesting. Than
okay.
this.
Wait, what did he say that was interesting
All
about
he
broccoli?
said was like, man, broccoli's related to so many other kind of vegetables, like cabbage and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. Like they're all the same family.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And because it's the pandemic and I'm on a date, I'm like, oh. And he's like, let me show you a picture. And he like shows me stuff. And I'm like, woo. Right? I'm treating him like a kid. And this is like one specific interest. And I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh, cool. Whoa, yeah, those trucks really crashed into each other real hard, huh?
And then, so I remember that. And then the only other thing I remember is like, I went back to his place. Why did I do this so many times?
I'm sorry. Can we just
No interest, already like not attracted, not having the greatest conversation.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, let's do it for a few more hours.
Let's go down the timeline. You were like, he was texting me too much and was kind of weird. Then I met up with him, not very attracted, hung out for 6 hours. Then, with a stranger during a global pandemic, I went back to his apartment.
Because we talked about broccoli.
And you were like, we talked about broccoli and I pretended to be interested. Anyway, we fucked. It's like so crazy.
We didn't have sex.
Oh, okay.
We didn't touch really.
Oh, God.
And I'm glad.
Yeah.
But it was very awkward. So we went back to his apartment, and I didn't really want to be there, but I guess I felt like I'd keep hanging out for a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, let's put something on. We'll put something on TV. What do you want to watch? He's like, oh, we should watch Kate Willett's comedy special on YouTube.
Oh, damn.
Or whatever. Or Netflix, wherever it is.
Kate Willett is...
Kate Willett is a comedian
She's
in
a
New York.
comedian that
funny.
we like know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I know her. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, we could watch it. It was kind of a weird thing to do on a date. And
it's weird to watch. Well, I mean, I feel like it's not weird. I feel like a lot of the times, like, people put on stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like, because you can, like, talk over it and then, like,
it's not
whatever.
Weird
but
for
it's
a normal
weird for
date,
you.
but it's weird when I'm like, I talk to that girl every few weeks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally.
So we put it on, and I'm sitting on this side of the couch, all the way over on the edge.
Yeah.
He's sitting on this edge all the way over. And I'm like, it's going to stay like that. I knew in my mind, I was like, I'm watching part of this special now because I'm interested, and then I'm going to go home.
Oh my God.
And as we're watching, he kept changing his body. Like
he kept moving?
Yeah. Yeah, he kept moving. Thank you. Thanks for using that word. That's the word. He kept moving.
Brittany, once again, being an alien.
He kept
changing his body.
So I noticed it in my periphery. I never looked directly, but he's like this at first, and then he's like this, like he's got his legs and his arms spread out.
He's
like
expanding
slowly
his body.
moving towards me.
Yeah.
Like sloth speed, really.
Yeah.
Almost like so I won't notice he's like suddenly close to me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, this. And then
he's
I'm
moving
like,
towards you like you're a fly that he's trying to slap.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm aware of it and I don't want it to be happening. But I also am like, well, I kind of want to finish the special now because we were like getting towards the end. So I was like, I'm going to stay for a little longer.
Yeah.
But I was like under this weird time pressure with his movements towards me.
Yeah. It's like the walls were closing in.
Yeah.
And you're like, well,
I think I can make it.
Yeah. And like also in his mind, he was probably like, she hasn't moved away.
Yeah.
So she must be interested.
And she's laughing.
Yeah.
Not at me, but
she's having a good time. There's a positive association between me moving closer and her laughing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then it ends and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go. And he's like, what? And then and I'm like, yeah, I should go, whatever. And then I start walking towards the door.
Yeah.
And putting my shoes on. Also, he didn't walk me to the door. He stayed like laying on the couch. He was like, what? Oh, you're leaving? He stayed there. Like it wasn't even polite,
Yeah.
And then I'm at the door putting my shoes on. He's like, hey, you run a show, right? I could do this show. He's not a comedian.
Oh my God.
And then and I'm like, well, like we book comics on the show.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. But I've been to shows before, and there was always like a placeholder for a comic who's like not that good, right? So I could do that.
Yeah, but he's not a comic that's not that good. No, he's just not a comic. He's just a guy
talking about broccoli.
Yeah, I know. Trying to move his body a bunch.
So he's just yelling at me across the room, trying to get booked on my show. And then I left. And then he texted me about broccoli the next day. He sent me a picture of broccoli. Like it was a cute, remember the conversation we had last night?
Hey, remember this thing we really connected on?
Yeah, we connected on the broccoli and how it's like cabbage and stuff. Remember that?
Remember when I told you the coolest thing you've ever heard in your entire life? And it's that a lot of vegetables are related?
Yeah. Remember that? Can I do your show now?
Anyway, now that you think I'm smart and cool, let me do your show. So crazy.
That's my story.
Oh,
and then,
man.
I don't know if I wish I could remember his name and find the text between us.
I would love to see that. Yeah.
But I probably ended up saying something like, hey, you seem like a nice guy.
Yeah, of course.
I don't see it going anywhere romantic.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure that you sent the same text that you send to everybody, and then you sent it to like Katrina or like your friends to make sure it was good. And then you changed the wording ever so slightly because you're afraid of getting killed.
It's one of like 300 draft text messages in my notes somewhere.
Oh, I would
that are all the same.
I would love to see like notes. I have every once in a while. I will go through my notes like looking for like joke ideas or something or shit that I wrote down, and then it'll just be like a long text message that was like hard for me to put together, so I put it in my notes app first.
Same.
And like probably sent it to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I'll go into my stupid story, which I found in my notes.
Oh.
That I wrote down when I was like drunk or something. I'm like, I cannot fucking believe I haven't told this story before.
Ooh.
So this is from middle school. So when I was in middle school, as we all know, I was pretending to be a cat. And I was super goth. This was early middle school.
Yeah.
So I was wearing those like big like pants. You know those huge pants that have like chains and shit?
They're coming back.
Yeah. I know. I see like people in Bushwick wearing them and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Should I beat them up? That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Should I beat these people up?
Should I beat the cycle?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Wow, these people are just walking around with no black eyes. That's crazy. So I wore those pants like all the time. And I was also like I was like 10. I was like very, very young. Maybe 11 if it was middle school. So I would take the bus to and from school. And I also was like, had anxiety about peeing at school. So I like wouldn't drink water all day.
Yeah.
And I would like have to pee really, really bad when I got home.
Yeah.
Because I was just afraid of...
Just because it was stalls and there were multiple people could be in there.
Yeah, I think I'd like...
You don't still have that, right? Because you talked about having that like in your 20s too.
Yeah. I was so afraid to pee and eat around people when I was like a teenager. So I would like hold my piss all day.
Yeah.
And then pee when I got home. And so...
you didn't eat lunch with people?
Yeah, I like barely ate lunch.
Yeah.
I would have like a bag of carrots or something. Also, I was getting like the free lunch at school and it was awful. So it'd be like the worst. It would be like
applesauce.
Yeah, it would be like they would say it's pizza, but it would be like a piece of cardboard with melted cheese on it.
Yeah.
It was like fucking so terrible. And then a carton of milk.
Yeah, and it gets soggy at the top.
Yeah.
That was like a daily thing I had to deal with.
I know. And then in my school, people would like literally like maybe once a week, somebody would open theirs up and it would explode.
Yeah.
Because it went bad and like it started like fermenting and all of the gases made it explode. It was crazy.
You could tell which ones it were because they're all rounded.
They get all puffy, yeah. But then like a kid would get one by accident. He'd open it up and it would be cottage cheese all over the table because it exploded. Anyway, so I was on the bus and I had to pee so bad. Probably because I drank all that milk, you know? And I was like holding my pee and like before the bus even stopped, I like got up and I had my backpack in front of me and I had my huge pants on.
Yeah.
And I was rushing to the front and as like, because you're
gotta go.
Yeah. And
it looks so funny. Either way, even if you weren't about to pee, just someone rushing off a bus.
Like, yeah. And like, then because you weren't supposed to stand up on the bus when I was moving because it wasn't stopped yet.
Oh, yeah.
The bus driver yelled at me and I looked up and I tripped and I was holding my backpack. So I just fell on my face.
Oh.
And then I peed my pants.
Oh, no.
Like all at once.
Laying down.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Tripped, landed on my face.
You're in the aisle of the bus?
Yeah, because it's and I was holding my bag like this and I fell forward and I pissed my pants on the bus.
And were these baggy pants swishy?
They were...
Like they don't hold the water well?
They were probably made of like cotton or like maybe a similar, not as heavy as denim, but like similar to denim.
So they could soak it up.
They could soak it up, yeah. But I like...
Because if you're wearing those swishy pants and this happened, you're just laying down, not soaking up your pee. You're just like a tarp.
Yeah, no, it's just like you're like, and it's like you're fine while you're laying down because it's pulled up.
Yeah, you stand up, it all drips
and then
down.
It just like pours out of your pant legs. So I think I didn't realize that I had peed after I tripped because I was so embarrassed. And then the bus driver was like, I told you not to stand up on the bus while it's moving.
And then he told that story to his wife later. He tells her every day.
Yeah.
She's like, what happened today, honey? He's like, well, I was driving the bus and a kid stood up and I said, I told you not to stand up.
Yeah.
And then they sat back down.
Yeah.
So...
But my bus driver, I actually remember her very well. Her name was Miss Joyce.
Oh.
And she was so mean, like really insane smoker's voice. And she kind of looked like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Oh, whoa.
She had like big curly blonde hair and then wraparound sunglasses.
Yeah.
She's like, I told you not to stand up on the bus. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And by that time we were like stopped at my house and I like got up and ran off. And then I was just, my pants and my socks and my shoes were just soaked with piss.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got home, nobody was home. Like my mom was working.
Were
and
these
like,
dark pants?
what?
Were they dark?
Yeah, they were black
So
pants.
you couldn't see.
Yeah. So I like got home and nobody was home, and I was so embarrassed that I pissed my pants and I didn't know how to do laundry. So I balled them up and I put them in my closet. So I just had like moldy piss pants in my closet probably for like a year.
Whoa! You didn't notice the smell?
No, I was too young. I had too much going on.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like that would be so, like, give it just 2 days and it's like,
I know, and it would be awful.
It's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I like hid it because I was so ashamed.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like, Mom, I pissed my trip pants.
Man.
Also, they're like goth, hardcore pants.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be like, Mommy,
my goth pants.
I pissed my goth pants on the bus. Can you please wash them?
Yeah.
Like,
because there's like chains everywhere too. They probably take like some kind of care when you wash them.
I remember I would
You gotta wash them by hand.
Dude, I remember I would fucking put them in like the like washer dryer in our house, and it would sound like you threw a bunch of pennies in the dryer and turned it on. It was like so loud.
Yeah.
Like you'd hear throughout the whole house when my trip pants were in there. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Man. We gotta get it. Do you have a picture of yourself in those pants?
Oh, I can probably find some.
Yeah.
And I used to make duct tape hats.
What?
Yep.
Okay, we gotta hear more about this.
remember there was like a trend of making duct tape stuff?
Not clothing.
Really? Oh,
Maybe a purse. I feel like I've heard of a purse.
I've made duct tape purses before.
Mhm.
It was a very arts and craftsy kind of thing. It was very fun for me to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I made purses.
Mm-hmm.
I made like messenger bags.
Was the hat like a cap?
No.
Because a cap is acceptable, but nothing else.
It was a top hat.
Yikes.
It was a top hat made out of duct tape.
Not
and I'm
acceptable.
sure the color pattern I would choose would be like black and lime green.
Yeah.
And it would be like striped.
Yeah. And it's probably pretty hard to get the stripes straight.
Yeah. And so it probably looked like shit. You know what I mean? It probably looked terrible.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I gotta find those pictures. I know that there's pictures of me with a fucking duct tape
top hat
and my boy haircut and purple hair.
Yeah.
And like also purple over red hair, probably just like weird brown. Because I like wouldn't bleach it or anything. I would just like put purple manic panic over it.
Yeah.
And then my goth trip pants that probably smelled like piss.
Did you do I always wanted to do the Kool-Aid dye in my hair when I was a kid. Every kid was doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I never did that. I just like went to the mall and then like I like stole money from my mom and went to the mall and bought Manic Panic. And then I would go to my friend's house and dye it and then come home and my mom would be like, what the fuck? I'd have like bright pink hair and she'd be like, what the hell did you do over there?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
My parents wouldn't let me do anything with my hair. Even the temporary stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't even think that my parents let me do that.
Yeah.
I think I just had a mother who was dealing with 2 kids.
Yeah.
One of which was, like in and out of jail.
Yeah.
And so she's like, this one can dye your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find the fucking duct tape
I used
stuff.
to put lemon in my hair and go out in the sun
to get like
try and lighten it.
Did that work for you?
I don't think so. I think my hair is too dark.
Yeah, I think it only works if you're already like a little bit blonde.
Yeah.
Like, you know how people like sometimes if I'm in the sun I'll get highlights. And sometimes other people will. I don't think you'd get highlights in the sun. Your hair's too dark.
No. It's too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we
anyway,
get into our posting?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't have peeing pants stories. I don't.
Really?
I mean, I peed the bed till I was 12. You know that.
Serial killer.
So I'm very familiar
That's
with.
one of the 3 things.
I know.
About serial killers.
Everyone tells me that.
You know what? Here's the thing. You pissed your pants, or sorry, excuse me, pissed your bed a lot.
That's right.
I played with fire.
Yeah?
Connor, did you torture little animals or?
No.
Okay, I'm just seeing if we have 3.
If we're having the trifecta.
If we have the trifecta of.
I'm sure someone we know tortured animals. We know comics.
Yeah.
There's definitely
hold on.
somebody.
Hold on.
That's the hardest one to admit, though.
No, totally. Who do you think, if you were to guess who tortured animals, who do you think it would be?
Well, I keep thinking of Juliana, but she played with fire.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
And I don't really believe it. It's just...
I don't think she'd torture
I
animals,
don't think she'd torture animals.
But she is weird, but not weird in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of comics who I think would torture animals. I don't know.
I'm afraid to start the gossip. It's like J.D. Vance fucked his couch.
Yeah.
Dave Ross tortured animals.
Yeah.
It's Dave Ross.
Dave Ross, he tortured animals a bunch.
Yeah.
And Caleb did even worse.
Which animal would he pick?
I don't know. I don't think he would ever even torture an animal. He's too nervous.
Yeah. He'd be asking if it was okay. He'd be like checking in on it.
Yeah,
he'd be pulling legs off of an ant or whatever and being like, so it's gonna be quick.
Yeah, he's like, is this okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just one more.
Giving it like sugar water between legs.
Keeping it alive longer because he feels bad.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, let's get into this.
Let's get into the posts. I mean, I tried the ant burning through a magnifier because every kid was doing that.
I did that too, but I don't think that counts.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I love bugs.
Yeah. That's what this podcast is about. Reformed bug annihilator.
Yeah. Oh, no, I pulled up the wrong post.
Oh, no.
You piece of shit. There we go. Got it.
There she goes.
That was quick.
Your thing is open in your lap.
My what?
The bottle's open and sideways in your lap.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's not going to spill, but it just made me nervous when I noticed.
It seemed like it was close.
I keep fucking hitting.
I'm also not going to read the title because it gives too much away.
Okay, all right.
Sorry for the long post and my grammar mistakes. Okay, it's a girl. Yep, me, 25, female. Also, she said, and my hands are a little shaky from being frustrated.
Oh, no. Just seething and typing this is so funny.
The idea of typing, you're like, you keep messing up because you're like so angry.
Yeah.
You can't control your hands.
And you can't just like wait to calm down to like look through.
There's so many people, they don't calm down.
Yeah.
They're just like, I need to type.
You're like, this happened 30 minutes ago and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And I'm like, oh my God.
I haven't slept. I've been up for 7 hours answering your comments.
Yeah, I know.
About my post.
And I'm like, just call a friend.
Yeah. Me, 25 female, and my husband, 25, just recently finished building our dream home. When I say dream home, I mean it. We have a stupid...
I'm sorry. 25, married, and building a home? Rich. What the hell? Sorry, go ahead.
When I say dream home, I mean it. We have a stupid secret kink room that is hidden behind a wall. Ooh. That's the dream?
Yeah, I know. No other details about the dream home.
Yeah.
She's not like, I've always wanted like...
Their lawn's falling apart. There's nothing else good about it.
It's not like...
The wallpaper's ripping off, but they have this one kink room.
They have one kink room behind a wall.
Yeah.
It's like a bookcase that like turns around.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, sweetie, time to have sex. I don't know. Why are you 25 and married? That's crazy. Grow up.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, there was no whoa, I skipped through somehow. I'm embarrassed to write that, but it's really special to us. That's more embarrassing to say it's very special to me.
I already don't like this.
I know.
I'm all for sex positivity, but everybody who's super sex positive is really annoying about it. Everybody who's like outwardly like make it their personality to be sex positive is annoying, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it.
I'd definitely rather have the broccoli, I think.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you're special because you like to come? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
We all like having sex.
You did it from a different angle? Okay.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I hung her from the ceiling. And I'm like, well, I can just like do mish.
Yeah.
Because I have a good time that way. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I had a small housewarming party with just my immediate family. My sister and her kids came and they wandered around the house unsupervised because I was cooking and frankly, I trust them enough to not do anything. They're 11, 7, and 5. 5? I'm really close with them. I mean, 7's young too.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny that you're like 5 and then just keep reading. Yeah, they're young kids. I think that's probably the problem is that they're young. 5. Oh my God.
I'm really close with them and we have a great relationship. They happen to find the room.
Oh, no.
Yikes. I don't even know if they fully understand what they saw, but it was some tools and equipment. She put in quotes.
I gotta know what the equipment is.
I think we know what the equipment and tools are.
Well, okay. But I think...
There's a thing you sit in that hangs.
But I think that there's a difference between a kid finding, like, handcuffs.
Yeah.
And then a kid finding, like a real-looking cock dildo with balls on it. You know what I mean?
Well, if it's a room, it's not just handcuffs. It's everything.
But it could
there's
just be
drawers filled with the cocks and the handcuffs. There's a swing and there's whatever else you.
But I also feel like there could be like a tasteful kink room where it's like just a lot of bondage stuff.
Yeah.
So there's like, you know, like one of those walls that has like the handcuff things in it, like the wrist cuffs. Mm-hmm. And then like maybe like a paddle, which is like, if you're 11, you don't know what that is.
We're getting to know Ali a little bit more.
No, or it could be... or it could be like a artist's like rendition of like her spreading her pussy open.
Yeah.
Like a painting on the wall.
Just as an example. Example.
That's what I have in my sex room.
Yeah.
It's only the picture of my pussy, actually. It's just for me.
And you can't tell what it is. It's one of those ambiguous paintings.
Like, it's so close up.
It's like the vase face painting.
It's so close up that it looks like a surgery video.
They happen to find the room. I don't know if they fully understand what they saw, but some tools and equipment. They came screaming down the hallway and insisted that everyone follow them to see what they found.
No!
Kids.
Ugh.
I instantly said no, but they were stubborn and said it was really cool. And that got people interested.
Oh, no.
I still don't fully understand how. I keep trying to rack my brain around it. Our room is hidden very well. It's in our library. I have floor to ceiling bookshelves. You're right. Behind a bookcase.
Oh my God, it was a bookshelf that opened.
If you pull on the right piece, it will swing out. Of course, kids found that. That's in every kid's movie.
It's in like every episode of Scooby-Doo.
Every kid sees a library like that. They're like, where's the room?
They're like, holy shit. Yeah. They're like, there's got to be more.
Yeah. Like, seriously, there was no reason for them to find it. But I guess at the end of the day, it's my bad for letting them go unsupervised. My poor husband was absolutely mortified, and my sister went to go look, and a few people wanted to follow her. I tried to stop them, kept telling them to stop acting weird. I gave up and just gave my husband an apologetic look. Man.
I feel like she could have stopped them from going
Definitely. There's stuff in there that involves... Okay, here we go.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
There's stuff in there that involves, number 1, pegging. Oh, I thought it was a list. It's just one thing. I got so excited. I thought we were going to imagine it better, but...
Oh, no. So it's not a picture of her, it's not a painting of her pussy. It's a picture of his asshole.
It's probably a molded version of his dick.
That goes in his own butt?
I don't know. She didn't specify, so who's to say? You know?
Brittany's like, so it's got to be that? Brittany's like, he's into pegging, so...
You know, back to the so thing real quick. I always hate it when people are like, they'll be like, I went to the grocery store today and I picked up some apples and the bananas were really expensive, but...
Oh, they just say but and they
end a sentence?
Yeah.
It makes me so mad. I think the so thing is funny, though.
So is funny,
because it's like, I'm like implying there's something more there.
Yeah.
But there's nothing more there.
Yeah, also like when somebody's like, so, it almost implies of them being like pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's either like pretty cool or like, so you figure out the rest.
Yeah.
From what I said.
But I'm like, but what?
I know.
Yeah. I get it.
I'm still listening.
Yeah.
I just wasted 10 more seconds.
Did you get the bananas or not?
I thought you were pausing.
Yeah.
You ended a sentence.
Yeah. But
you gotta let me know when the sentence is over.
Yeah. I think that's the most autistic thing you've ever said. I have to know when the sentence is over because that is when I talk. God, I hate conversations with people.
Okay, so
there's stuff in there that includes
there's stuff
pegging.
in there that involves pegging, and my husband isn't comfortable with anyone knowing I'm the dominant one in the bedroom, which
That's
is
fair.
perfectly fine with me. My sister came out of the room and was laughing so hard she had tears coming down. This is hilarious, especially because of the way it was found, and the kids are like, "It's really cool."
Yeah, I know.
They think it's gonna be like a kid. Like the kids probably thought it was sort of like a cool playgroundy thing.
Of course, yeah. They see just like, I don't know, also like sex
Just
toys.
like,
Sex toys like kind of look like dog toys.
Yes,
a lot of the times they're
exactly.
like made of like rubber and they're like they're like purple.
Yeah.
They're always purple.
And purple and pink.
Yeah. And then like, so they're like, oh, look at all this cool stuff in here.
Yeah. They pick one up and they're like,
Yeah, I know.
Flying around like a plane.
A boat.
Yeah. My sister came out of the room, was laughing so hard she had tears coming down. I wasn't too mad until she made a comment to my husband that was, "You really are a pussy. I knew."
What the hell?
I knew, and then she said her sister's name. I knew she was the man in the relationship, but wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's messed up.
Everything was like an accident.
Yeah.
But being like, haha, fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Like, when they found a clearly like embarrassing thing.
She's
for
talking
them.
like a middle school boy.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden.
Oh, what? You like getting fucked in the ass by your wife?
Yeah.
Pussy. That's so crazy.
And then I absolutely lost it. I told her to leave immediately and take her kids and that she wouldn't be welcome back until she genuinely apologized and her kids apologized for not listening after I told them not to go see. My sister stormed out with her family after calling me a spoiled, entitled bitch, which really hurt my feelings. My family's pretty split right now. My brother's disgusted. She said that to my husband, but parents think I was being controlling. Okay, her hands must be shaking right now. The way it's written is like starting to be confusing. And I shouldn't have it if I don't want people to see it.
What? But that's the whole
That's
point of
why it's
having a
hidden.
hidden room.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
If you want, yeah.
It's literally a bookshelf where you pull a specific book
Yeah.
and it opens.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I argued it's not meant to be seen. I'm really concerned about my husband. He's not mad at me, but he doesn't feel safe around my sister.
That's fair.
I'm mostly frustrated that my parents are so mad at me that I banned her until she apologizes and want me to get over it. Blah, blah, blah.
My God.
Maybe I overreacted. Something.
Jesus Christ. I would have been like, up until I was being like, just tell the kids like, no, don't go in there. Like,
Yeah.
you can be serious to a point and be like, nobody goes in there. They're like, it's really cool. And you just like yell at them and then they're like, oh God. Like, I was like kind of like, oh, she didn't hide it enough. And then her sister comes out and is like, haha, you fucking pussy, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh no, I'm on her side.
Yeah.
I'm on her side.
Me too.
Yeah.
Also, I wonder if part of what she was thinking was like, well, the kids already saw it and they're like, it's really cool. And then it's like, even if she managed to get no one to go back there again, the kids are going to be like, whoa, there was this. And it would be like, then she'd be like shushing them. And it would be like what they imagine might be worse.
Totally. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of why she was like, well, I'll just let them go back there now.
Yeah.
Like it's already out.
I also think she could have like, when the kids were like, come in here, she could have like gone to her sister and been like, it's a sex room, get them out of there.
Yeah.
And don't go in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, if I had like a family member be like, don't go in there, it's a sex room, I'd be like, oh, okay, I don't want to see that shit.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, based on her calling him a fucking pussy, maybe she would have been like, let me see.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah. Have you ever like had something hidden in your room and then had your brother find it and you're really embarrassed or something?
Okay. You know those like vibrators that attach to the wall?
Yeah.
The Hitachi Magic Wands? I have one of those.
Yeah.
That I got as a gift. And I've also had it for probably like, I think I got it when I was like 20 or something.
Whoa.
So that thing lasts. Anyway, it's kind of like the only sex thing I have.
Yeah.
And one time when I was living with my ex, but I was still renting an apartment with my roommate in Williamsburg, he adopted 2 cats and my door was open and he had to go in and like look for them and make sure that they were safe. And he looked under my bed and he saw it and he was like, Jesus Christ, Ali. And I was like, first of all, you are in my room.
Yeah.
And it's also not that crazy.
No.
you know?
It could just be a dog toy.
Yeah, maybe it's a dog toy, even though I didn't have a dog at the time.
When you first said Hitachi wand, those things that attach to the wall, I thought you meant it attaches to the wall.
And like,
and I was
fucks
like,
me.
Whoa,
No,
Ali.
it's not that.
And you're like, yeah. But you just meant it plugs in.
It plugs in. That's what I meant. Yeah. Sorry, no, it doesn't attach to the wall. It looks like a microphone and then like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like they sell them as like back massagers, which they also work for.
Yeah.
They work as back massagers as well.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
Nothing like that. I'm sure when I was a kid, like my brothers, I feel like they probably read my diary and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And probably there's something. But I don't know if I've told this on the pod. Definitely told you. I'll just say it briefly. The Hitachi wand. The Hitachi wand. Pretty sure my mom had one of those.
Oh my God, yes.
Told you this story.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
It was like summer one year and I was probably like 10 or something. And you know when you're a kid and it's summer and you just like, at first it's fun and then at some point you're just so bored. There was no phones. It wasn't like I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you're just like in your home.
I probably read a bunch of books. I was reading a ton in summers. I was probably like tired of reading, tired of all the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then you would just be inside, like looking at everything in the home.
Yes. Yeah.
You just like know every object in the home.
You just get to know every object in the home.
This just reminded me. I went to Turtles, the bar.
Yeah.
With
Turtles
Dwayne,
all the way
like,
down, yeah.
I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And you know how they have those turtles in a tank.
Yeah.
And they race them.
They race them the first Sunday of every month, I think.
Oh, wow.
We should go sometime.
We should go. Also, it'd be nice to just see them getting out, you know.
There's like also just to I know that you're telling 2 stories and I interrupted both of them, but there's this bar that we go to in your neighborhood that has like a single fish in a tank.
Yeah.
And every time we go there, you're like,
it's sad.
I feel so bad for that fish. And so for you to be like, it's nice to see them get out of their tanks.
Well, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you think the turtles like racing or they're like, oh God?
I don't think they like their lives.
Probably not. Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, we passed that tank and I'm like, I was like, oh man, these turtles, this is what they get to do.
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, Dwayne, if I were one of those turtles, you know what I would do? Since I'm there all the time, I would get to know every single rock. I'd pick up every rock and I'd be able to identify it with my eyes closed. That's what I would work on.
Not even every
I had
single
nothing to do.
Not even every single other turtle.
There's only like one other turtle.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I would pick up every rock and memorize it. That'd be my whole life. Because that's what people have forced me to do.
Yeah.
But I'd make it fun.
Yeah. You could like take all the rocks in the tank and then organize them by color and size.
I learn how they best stack.
Yeah.
Because I know all their edges.
Yeah.
I would be like a genius in that
because
tank.
I know all their edges.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're in your
story. Oh yeah. So I'm getting to know all the objects in the house.
Yeah. You're getting to know them. Yeah.
And I'm in my parents' room and I'm like just on the ground. I don't know, bored. And I look under their bed. I like turn and look under their bed and I see the Hitachi one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that thing? Because it looks so weird.
Yeah. It looks like a huge microphone.
Yeah. It does. And I pull it out and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like I had no idea what it would be. And it did kind of seem like a massager.
Yeah.
And you know when you don't know what something is?
And
so you just like are like, well, I can't figure this out, so I guess I'll just like smell it. So
first of all, wait, let me stop right there. First of all, no, I don't know. I'm not like a dog.
You use all your senses, and if they don't, you're like, well,
I guess
haven't
I'll
tried
smell
this yet.
Yeah,
I'll smell it.
This reminds me of Tim McLaughlin talking about smelling the leg.
Yeah, that was just out of interest, though.
Yeah, no, he knew what it was. But you had no idea, and you were like,
and then I knew. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew what it was in relation to.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the hell? Like, I was like shocked by the smell. And then I was smelling, you know, when a dog smells something it doesn't like?
Yeah.
And it goes like,
yeah. It tries to like get the smell out of its nose.
Yeah, it like forces the smell out through its nose. That's what I did. And then I was like, man, like I knew what happened, but I didn't want to like think about it.
Yeah. God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
You're like, what is this? Also, like, okay, obviously in that situation, that's a hilarious story. But I'm trying to think of like, what other things did you find and not know what they were? So you decided to smell them?
I don't know. I definitely have done that in the past with other stuff. I'm smelling everything that's it's ambiguous. I almost said unambiguous.
Everything I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I smell it.
Just to check.
Yeah, just to make sure that I know what it is.